Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brick League Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV. Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jack Bryan Stadium, Senior Night, where we would like to recognize our senior football and cheerleaders. First off, Sherrod Bowens, escorted by Mother Cheryl Howard and Grandfather Tim Howard. Joe Ferryman, escorted by Mom Gretchen, Dad Steve, Grandma Chris, Grandpa Larry, and Grandma Linda.
I'm there.
Alex Gabriel, escorted by his parents Nicole and Joe Gabriel and his brother Ian.
Oh, okay. They're on the other side of the pole, but now they're on.
Will Heskett, escorted by his parents Jody and Ray Heskett and sister Claire Heskett. Bryce January, escorted by friend Michelle January and family. Niall Johnson, escorted by his parents Brian and Angel Johnson, his sisters Nia and Nora Johnson, grandmothers Anna Hughes and Heo Son No, and uncles Tommy Hughes and Trey Johnson, along with others. Richard Kenny, escorted by his parents Rick and Teresa Kenny, and his godparents Chris and Sherry Roll. Andrew McFeeters, escorted by his parents Travis and Anne Marie, his brother Jacob, two-time state champion in Bishop Hartley class of 2017, and his sister Hannah, Bishop Hartley class of 2018. Avion Murphy, escorted by his parents Anthony and Monique Murphy, and his siblings Anthony, Morgan, and Amaya. Alex Ramacone, escorted by his parents Mike and Mandy, sister Sydney, grandparents Jim and Judy Cook, and John Ramacone. Trayvon Saunders, escorted by Dad Scott Saunders, stepmom Nicole Saunders, brother Jaleel Brown, stepsister Akira Fletcher, and Isabella Parker. Carson Schaefer, escorted by his parents Joe and Krista Schaefer and brother Parker. Daniel Tucson, escorted by his parents Kevin and Alicia Tucson and his cousin Amaya. Dushan Franklin Tucker, escorted by his parents Alan and Angela Tucker and brothers Donovan, Desmond, and Dylan. Aiden Turner, escorted by Mom Monica Dixon, Dad James Turner, stepbrother Eve Turner, Aunt Donna Dixon, and Alex Etienne. And now for our cheerleaders. Elena Colvin is escorted by her mother, Tequila Wilkins, and her father, Sean Colvin. Amaya Eaton is escorted by her parents, Amy and Ronald Eaton, her sister, Charity Jackson, her loving cousins, Roshoda Coop and Johanna Turman, and her longtime best friend, Mackenzie Safford. Emma Guest is escorted by her mom, Karen Guest, and her father, Michael Guest. Addison McCall is escorted by her parents Adam and Tamara McCall, sisters Kenny and Tommy, brother Adam, and nephew Dominic. Peyton Moore is escorted by her mom, Marshall, her boyfriend, Malachi Penn, and her best friend, little brother, JD. And standing in for her padre, John David Moore, who would love nothing more than be here escorting his pretty girl, is his friend, Mello. Hannah Naylor is escorted by her parents, Dawn and Steve Naylor, her sister, Alana, her brother-in-law, Nate, and her best friend, Emmeline. Daviana Rodriguez is escorted by her brother, Tawana Williams, and her brother, David Rodriguez, and family. Riley West is escorted by her parents, Michelle and Patrick, and her sister, Avery.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brick League Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV. Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brick League Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV. Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brick League Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV. Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brick League Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV. Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at LoveThat.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Jack Ryan Field. I'm Deshaun Pate here with Randall Sampson. It's for tonight's action between the St. Charles Cardinals and your Bishop Hartley Hawks. Today, we have a great matchup today, as St. Charles is 2-5, and Bishop Hartley is 5-3, I believe. Randall, welcome tonight. Glad to be here tonight. First, let's talk about the players of the game for Bishop Hartley. Peyton Underwood. Let's talk a little bit about Peyton Underwood.
Hey, so you got this guy Peyton. He's a gunslinger. He's a young gun coming out. Nobody expected this kid to have that kind of poise and be so strong. And some of those passes that he's had in the past couple of weeks, where he's dropping the ball right down the chimney. Oh man, he's going to be a premier quarterback in the years to come. But for tonight, I want to see this kid grow up just a little bit more, because every week we see a little bit more as he goes.
Absolutely. Also, Bishop Hartley played Centennial last week and had a 55-14 lead, and Bishop Hartley had the opportunity for some of the younger players to play. For Coach Birchfield, how do you think that helped his team chemistry-wise and confidence?
Well, it's just mental preparation, right? So those young guys being ready all week long, and when you go against a team like that where you know you're going to be pretty much be done by the second quarter, but being mentally ready to get up for that game from the first quarter to the second quarter, and then those young guys being mentally ready to go in at any time, I think that's what the best part is right there. So you can practice all you want, but it's the mental stuff once you get into the game and get some live snaps. So I think that worked out well, and they walked away not dinged up. That's the key.
All right. Okay, here we go. The Hawks are set to receive the kickoff. We have number 3, Matt Seelan, kicking off for the Cardinals. And here we go. The ball is caught at the 5-yard line by number 3, Richard Kinney. Stopped at the 26-yard line. First down, Hawks.
I'll tell you what, St. Charles came running down that field on that kickoff. I mean, their hair is on fire. So forget about the records. And, it sounds cliche, but for the people on the east side of Columbus who knows, this is an old, deep, hated rivalry. Right. This is Bo and Woody. I mean, this is pure brother against brother, hate against hate, and let's see what happens.
Absolutely. As the Hawks set to run a play, Saunders come in motion from left to right. Penalty on the mark on the play. False start from the Hawks.
So like I said, this rivalry is deep. It's cousins, uncles, family members, everything. So on the first play for them to jump like that, I'm telling you, these kids are jacked up on both sides. This is going to be a good game. So we'll see who starts fast and who finishes strong.
Absolutely. And like you just said, you see the Hawks just a little bit excited right there to get the plays going. As Saunders come in motion back to the backfield. Underwood hands it off to Saunders. Saunders breaks the tackle. Saunders breaks to the right. The 40, the 35, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Hawks. Trayvon Saunders on the first play of the game, taking it up the right side for the touchdown.
So in a heavyweight fight, you want to come right out and hit him in the mouth. And I think that's just what happened. We saw the first blow. We want to see how St. Charles is going to recover from that. But it was all the chess pieces being set up. So let's watch the replay here. Basically just the inside handoff, and there's multiple missed tackles. So there's a guy there. There's 2 guys that missed. And once you get speed and space, he's gone. This is your state runner-up in the 100-yard dash. This is a kid that runs 4.43. Speed legit, and it's on display. So that is called marquee speed.
You're right about that. As Alex Gabriel tacks on the extra point to make it 7-0.
And there's a reason why this kid is being recruited by some of the biggest colleges out there. It's the hands, it's the speed, it's the poise, and the ability not to panic in the hole when you see traffic and to work through it. So we'll see how Bishop Hartley plays on this next possession.
Absolutely. As we await the kickoff from the Hawks.
And the fun part is always watching Coach Birchfield out there with the special teams kids, getting them ready to go. That's been part of the tradition. And this kickoff team is amazing. They have speed on the outside, and they've got a kicker that has a really good leg. So I love seeing this kid feature his leg. And he's getting better and better as the year goes.
And as you say that, Alex Gabriel had a fantastic week last week. And, they had multiple opportunities to kick the ball as he made every attempt that he kicked. So, like you said, going down the stretch, kicking is going to be very important getting ready for the state playoffs. So, for one thing about the Hawks, with the playoffs in sight, they can't look ahead. What do you think, as we got a penalty on the play here, do you think St. Charles' record is 2-5 and the Hawks looking ahead for the playoffs? Talk a little bit about not looking ahead for the Hawks and taking it day by day, knowing that St. Vincent St. Mary is next.
Oh, yeah. And with Hartley's schedule, you can never even think about playoffs. Playoffs? Playoffs? Did somebody say playoffs? As Jim Murray used to say, yeah, no. So when you play for Hartley, everything is game to game because there's one reason why you can't look for playoffs when you play for Hartley. Everybody's going to play their best game against you, every last ounce that they have. So this is St. Charles' playoff game. This is St. Charles' Super Bowl. This is St. Charles' everything. And every team that Hartley plays for the entire schedule is that way. Hartley is the Alabama of high school football. Everybody's going to give their absolute best when they play Hartley. So you can't ever look down the road. You're looking one play ahead, not at playoffs.
That's absolutely right about that. As Alex Gabriel kicks the ball off to number 34, Pete DeSasio. He takes it. He's seen a scene. He breaks a couple tackles, and he brought down at the 40-yard line by number 30, Charlie McCall.
And he almost broke that one. Hartley overran their coverage, and they were way behind the receiver by the time he caught the ball. And you get a kid back there that has a little bit more wiggle, that would have been a return. So they're really going to have to clean that up on special teams come Saturday morning when they look at film.
And we know Coach Birchfield prioritized special teams, so for that to happen right there on that kickoff return, I know he's not too pleased about that.
Yeah, that's the curse of speed, right? When you have that much speed.
Absolutely. Archer Sansowski at quarterback. And shotgun formation. Pete DeSasio take the ball to the left side for a gain of 2 to the 42-yard line.
So, yeah, on that play, they're coming down here towards the short side of the field. And your defensive end down here, Daniel, he just stood his guy up, shed him, which is great. And then he was sitting in the hole waiting to make that tackle. And it looks like, you're the Cookie Monster sitting in the hole ready for that cookie to crumble on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As we get ready for a 2nd down and 7, the ball on the 41-yard line. Quick pass to the left for no gain. Stopped by number 11 for the Hawks, Anthony Murphy.
And that's just a good setup there. So they're trying to set something up for down the field to take the top off. But that corner really came up, did his job, played his responsibility. Who was that? Aiden? Number 8, Aiden Turner, came up, broke on it. And that was a good closing speed, demonstrating some elite talent.
Absolutely. As we get ready for a 3rd down and 10, ball on the 39-yard line. Stankowski drops back for pass. He sets up the screen. Look for the screen. Nobody there as the Cardinal looked to set up a screen right there to get the Hawks, to catch the Hawks off guard.
And that was a great offensive call. So they caught Hartley in a blitz. Anthony Murphy, the linebacker, came screaming off the edge. Lineman came screaming through, and they just couldn't execute. There was absolutely nobody downfield to catch them.
Absolutely, as now it's 4th down and 10, the ball on the 39-yard line, as the Cardinals in punt formation. as number 3 for the Hawks, Richard Kennedy, is back to receive. The punt is off. As Kenny lets the ball bounce, and the ball is down at the 18-yard line. At the 18-yard line for the Hawks, as the Hawks takes the ball at the 18-yard line, first down and 10. Coming on April 2nd, Bishop Hartley is hosting their 31st annual Evening of Excellence. Hartley's largest and most impactful fundraiser is back. Without the support of his families, alumni, students, staff, and local community, many of our students could not attend Bishop Hartley. Here's more. Sheriff Bowman comes in motion. Underwood throws it out there to the flats to...
Yeah, it looks like speed and space out there. It'll be interesting to see how Hartley sets that up.
It was hard to see who he threw that to. Oh, it looked like he threw it to number 11, Anthony Murphy, out there in the flats. Out there in the flats for a 5-yard catch. As the player to watch, Underwood completes his first pass of the day. And here's the replay.
I think that was Joey Wooten out there. And I'm excited to see what this kid does, too. Joey's a big kid, got a lot of speed, but he's young.
And absolutely. And Joey earned that right last week with, as we have the run right here.
Oh, look out.
Terrell Bowman for a Hartley touchdown, breaking all the tackles right there. As we see no penalty markers on the field for a Hawks touchdown.
Oh, my goodness. Did we just see this? It's just a plain old dive up the middle, and the big fella's just going, get a little stiff arm, get off my feet. And so he's trucking down the field, get off. And that's straight balance, athleticism. And then he turns on the Jets, what he had left, get past the last guy. And, I mean, this kid, they're just bouncing off him. He reminded me of Beanie Wells, played for Ohio State, big running back. Same kind of physique, same kind of run.
Absolutely. As Bowens is leaving off. Oh, as they go for a fake here, and they get the 2-point conversion by number 3, Rory Ralston, as Coach Burfield caught the Cardinals sleeping for the 2-point conversion there. As, like we were saying, Bowens is right now doing exactly what he did last week, as he scored two touchdowns last week, and he's doing the same thing tonight.
Yeah, and he's going to be one of the great Hartley alum that we'll have one of these days, but today is Alumni Day at Hartley. It's homecoming, so we are so appreciative of all the alumni coming in. Many people are coming from out of town, and we have great sponsors that are sponsoring this event. So we want to thank all of our alumni sponsors out there for entertaining and making this happen for our great alumni. We have people coming from California, Florida, Texas, New York, and obviously right here in Central Ohio with these great sponsors making everything possible to make a joyful event for them.
That is right. That's right. As the Hawk Pride is nationwide, right?
Absolutely.
As right now, the Hawks, 13-0, Hawks over the Cardinals. I'm trying to see what happened, because they scored a 2-point conversion, which would give them 15, but the ref is now talking to Coach Birchfield. So it looked like the 2-point conversion was unsuccessful.
So the issue must have been on the pitch. When we have to look at the replay, maybe the pitch, the holder's knee was down when he pitched it, so that would have made a dead ball. Okay. But I love the call. I'd rather have something like that go wrong on a night like tonight than down the road when you need it. And plus what that does is it puts another play in your arsenal for next week and the following week for coaches to have to look at in practice.
That's absolutely right. As Gabriel kick is returned by number 34, Pete DeSascio, to the 20-yard line, tackled by, once again, number 30 on special team, Charlie McCall.
Well, it looks like they cleaned some of that stuff up on special teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they made some good open field tackles. Everybody stayed in their lanes.
As we know Coach Birchfield will want anyway. So You're right about that.
So, yeah, it just creates another wrinkle on special teams when you have to practice for a fake field goal. And now you know what's coming, so you have to practice and hold back. And the ability to block the field goal is going to be tough.
You're right about that. As Cardinals quarterback, number 10, takes the ball and dumps it off to number 9, Nick Benison, for a gain of 2.
Oh, that's a great open field tackle out there by our man Richard Kenny. So that's what you have, a senior out there that's strong like that, lots of speed, but can settle down and throttle down and make that open field tackle, take out the engines and get right down at the legs. And St. Charles is trying to spread that Hartley defense out a little bit. So they're trying to get to that perimeter the best they can, but the speed is just too much on the Hawks defense.
You're right. You're absolutely right about that. As the Cardinals get ready for the 2nd down and 8, and he hands it off to the running back.
And that was a nice little run, delayed blitz by Dylan Newsom. So he just kind of read the running back, snuck up in there, and had a nice little delayed blitz to make that stop. And you got to love the pink out here at Hartley. Great students, great spirit, and they're going to be the next base of this alumni.
Fred Nimley was the one that was on the carry as Stan Consley is in a shotgun formation. He hands it off to number 1, Fred Nimley, on a 3rd down and 3 to give the Cardinals a 1st down.
And that was actually a great call by St. Charles. So St. Charles did a good job on that call. The left guard came around and dug out the defensive end, and that was good football. The linebacker just didn't fill over the top.
Absolutely, as the Cardinals get ready for the 1st down and 10 right here on the ball on the 33-yard line. 7:24 left in the 1st quarter. Santa Consley in the shotgun formation. He hands it off to number 34, Pete DeSasio, for a gain of 4, maybe 5 yards.
So what they're doing is they're taking the playbook out of what Benedictine did. Take a lot of screens running across the front end and then try to cut it back up in. But I think Hartley's defense has really adjusted and gotten better over the time. You're looking at kids like Isaac, number 77, just jumped in there and created that push to make that running back cut before they can get to that perimeter.
And that's why you play teams like Benedictine, to get prepared for teams like this who run the same type of offense. As Nimley gets the ball to the left side for another Cardinals 1st down.
So that's the 2nd time they ran that play when they've been in a pinch for 3rd down. So what you're seeing is that backside guard is coming. It's a power O run. The backside guard comes, tries to dig out that defensive tackle. So it puts a lot of pressure on your linebacker, Anthony Murphy, because Murphy's out there in space, and he has to cover that slot. But he also has to read down on that down block.
Right.
But we make it sound easy, but when you think about a kid out there, it's RPO time. You got multiple things happening at the same time.
Absolutely. Cardinals come out, tricks right. Number 34 comes in motion. He fakes the handoff to 34 and gives it to Fred Nimley for a gain of 3 yards. As you look at the replay here, he brings him in motion and hands it off to Fred Nimley. Nimley goes up the middle, and he's tackled by number 51.
And once again, they're doing a lot of window dressing, similar to what Watterson did. Put a lot of guys in motion, but they're basically just running that power O up the middle, trying to soften up that defense.
So do you think if you're the Hawks, do you want to force them to throw the ball since they having so much success running the ball?
Yeah, just stay in your base defense. I think Hartley can match up well. Hartley matches up well just like that play there. So your front four can outpower their front four. There's going to be a lot of rushing going on there.
And Stanikowski pass, you see right here on the replay, he's looking for his running back on the flats, number 34, Pete DeSasio, and he's unable to connect with him as the Hawks prepare for a 3rd down and 7, the ball on the 46-yard line, as the Hawks just want to get off the field, right?
Oh, yeah. So you're still on their side of the field. The goal is to finish this 3rd down up and then flip the field on the punt. And I think Hartley's defense is going to stay in the base formation right now.
Trips to the right, shotgun formation. He fakes the ball. Pass is incomplete. Intended for number 9, Nick Benison.
And you saw Deontay Hubbard right there playing that slot. I like to see him press a little bit more, especially when you're man-to-man like that. So, but he's right there in his hip pocket. So once you get a little bit more press, it creates a different window for that quarterback.
Absolutely.
And when you have 3 wide receivers like that running that quick slant, it makes it hard for the DBs to man up because you don't know if the guy's going to cut outside or continue on the slant.
Absolutely. As the Cardinals in punt formation, and Richard Kinney back to receive the punt. Oh no, that's they actually changed it. That's not Richard Kinney. That's Trayvon Saunders. So that's a dynamic duo. So you have Richard Kinney as one, and then you can switch out and put Saunders on there. Man, just how dynamic and an advantage for Coach Burfield to have.
They're trading speed for speed, right? And you got the chess pieces out there. And you saw Trey just caught that punt, and then it kind of floated on the shoulder a little bit. He had a fair catch, so they couldn't hit him, but he's got to secure the ball even on the fair catch.
Absolutely. Now Johnson in the backfield. He hands it off to Johnson. Johnson runs to the left side. He have a block right there on the left side as he runs to the 29-yard line for a Hawks first down.
And this offensive line is really starting to gel now, and that's what's been happening. So the offensive line's been trying to find their identity for the past 3 or 4 games, and now you can start to see it percolating up. Everybody's healthy up front, and I'm really loving the kid in the middle at the center. So it's amazing to see these kids just blocking and getting after their guys.
As you see in the replay, he had number 76, Donovan Davis, come around on that pull for that lead block, and they was able to get Johnson the yardage he needs for a first down. Underwood takes the roll out to his left. He completes the ball to Saunders. Saunders catch the ball. He have a block right there by Richard Kinney. He stays up on his feet. He's breaking tackles. He's getting help from one of his teammates, Bowens, for another Hawks first down. As Saunders with the huge play for the Hawks.
You're getting your setup with speed and space, so that's going to be there all night. So this is a game where you want to work on things. You want to work on your chess pieces. You want to work on plays, setting it up for later. So here you got Trey's basically just a dump pass. He's out in the slot, and he just comes out from the backfield and runs down. Now the problem here is he has so many windows and so much open space. You almost have too many choices.
That's right.
And then you get frozen in the choice.
Johnson gets the ball, runs to the right for a pickup of 2 yards at the Cardinals' 28-yard line. And you see on that bootleg that Underwood just did, that comes from Hartley being able to rush the ball. So with Hartley being able to rush the ball, now he can bootleg out and hit it to some of his playmakers like he did on a couple plays ago.
Anytime you can freeze those linebackers and create that awareness, that's a good thing for offense.
Deontay Hubbard in the backfield. Bowens coming in motion. He hands it off to Hubbard. Hubbard breaks a couple tackles for another Hawks first down.
And you got that short little pitch in the back, and you're setting your running back up so he can get some good downhill running. Mm-hmm. And what I really like about that play is even with that short little pitch, your quarterback can read right through there as a lead blocker. And you got to be careful because you don't want to nick up your quarterback.
Right.
And, once the quarterback goes in there and starts blocking, those defensive guys are like, hey, it's game on. You're a blocker just like everybody else.
Yeah, so
forget the ball, or we want to get after the quarterback. So
absolutely, it's
you got to be careful.
You're right about that. Also, the Hawks are doing a great job of dictating what they want, running their offense to perfection and things like that. Let's talk a little bit about the Hawks and their running. They're running to be able to set up for the pass, with passing, you want to pass, but do you want to pass the ball when the running is just so good?
Well, that's the balance that you want to have. You want to make sure that you have a great balance in this game because you could easily pass the ball 100 times and run the score up. But you're working on things. You're building film. You're building a body. You're building this portfolio for next week and for the following week, and you want to get better. So there's certain plays that you really want to work on and execute at a high level, and the average person won't see that. The kids and the coaches will see it Saturday morning in film study.
Right. Johnson in the backfield, Saunders in motion. Pitched around to Kenny. Kenny missed the tackle as a penalty on the play. Kenny walks into the end zone, but we have a penalty on the play. Holding on the Hawks, going to bring back that touchdown by the Hawks.
Well, there's a lot of action on that play, right? So we're going to see a flag for holding, but what it does is it's setting up yet another play.
If you look at the replay here.
Yeah, so we're setting up a lot of movement here. So you're setting up that pass, and then you give a quick little pitch. But the problem is you got a guy like Kenny out there, great speed, and those big offensive linemen are like, hey, baby, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm coming. I'm trucking. I'm trying my best. And then all of a sudden the gator arms start coming out, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And so officials can see that.
Absolutely. And you did it right in front of the ref. So right there in front of the ref. So you had no choice but to call it. So that brings us to a first down at 22, the ball on the 30-yard line. Hands it off to Johnson. Johnson bounces out to the left. Johnson breaks the tackle and heads out of bounds to pick up a gain of 24 yards for another Hawks first down.
There's a lot of space out there. So you've got a dynamic running back like this kid that has good speed and good vision. And he was able to be patient and just follow his blocks, read the backs of his offensive linemen, and work his way through the hole.
Absolutely has. Now we have Bowens in the backfield for the Hawks. Underwood under center. Bring somebody in motion. Hand it off to Bowen. Bowen bumps to the left side for another Hawks first down. First and goal, Hawks.
So this is part of the look that Hartley wants to get. All right, let's figure out who's going to be our battering ram moving forward. So they're getting multiple looks, multiple running backs in there, and trying to figure out the different styles of each running back. And you can see they're switching them up, putting them in different chess pieces, different places. And that puts a lot of pressure on a defense when you're scouting.
No wide receiver set here. Our formation. As like a fumble on the play. Ball recovered by the Cardinals as the Hawks missed the opportunity. Here's the replay here.
And that's the one thing that you don't want to have. You had a short snap by the center.
Okay.
So it didn't come all the way up. So it was a short snap. So usually what happens is the center has a place to get. So it has to take a bigger step. And once you take that bigger step, the ball hits the inside of your thigh.
Yeah.
So you really got to make sure you get that ball up there and secure first before you take that big step.
Absolutely. Absolutely right about that. As now we have the Cardinals now who looked like they was about to score. Right now has the ball first and 10 at their 7-yard line.
And I actually like this look right here. I'm not a fan of turnovers. Nobody is. But for the Hartley defense, now you have a team pinned back at the 10-yard line. They have to go 90 yards to score. So think about this as the end of the game where you have to play some defense and defend 90 yards.
Absolutely.
So now you're getting some good work and some good reps. You have a chance right now as a defense to push them back a little bit and try to get that safety.
Right.
So any little motivator that you have as a defense, this is where it comes out.
Absolutely. Absolutely right there. Drops back to pass. Pass complete to number 9, Nick Benison. Benison gets the ball out to the flat.
Yeah, and this is a good look right here. This is a great call by St. Charles, just getting out there to the flat. And they've set this up for the last 2 third downs when they got first downs. This is the play that comes off of it. So you fake the power on the inside. Your slot receiver's out there and just does a smash route on the outside real quick, and he's wide open because you have Anthony Murphy, who's your linebacker, in space. And so now you have that linebacker just lingering in space, and that's what you want as a matchup for a wide receiver against a linebacker.
Absolutely. As Alex Ramacon was on the tackle there for the Hawks. Stanikowski in the backfield. He drops back to pass. Pass complete to number 34, Pete DeSasio. DeSasio loses a shoe there, but picks up a gain about 6 yards.
When I tell you these kids from St. Charles, they're fighting, and I tell you this is going to be a hard battle, they're giving their very best. This is their Super Bowl to the point where kid is running out of his shoe because he wants to go score. He wants to do something because this is it for them.
Right.
This is bragging rights on the east side of Columbus for 364. So these kids are excited. They're going after it, and there's no quit in St. Charles, which I absolutely love.
As Coach Birchfield sat down with our own Bob McElligott, and that's what Birchfield's kind of talked about. He said they don't look exactly how their record, seems. And like you said, this is their Super Bowl, and they're actually playing like it. Hands the ball off to Fred Nimley. Nimley runs up the field for Cardinals first down to their 35-yard line.
And St. Charles is recognizing that Hartley's defense has been on the field for a while, so they're going power roll right up the middle. So instead of going off tackle, now we're going power roll up the middle, have the guy pull around and go right in that A gap and get a blast in the lead on that linebacker.
You're right about that. As the clock run down for the first quarter.
Hey, for senior night and homecoming, it's been a great go at it.
Absolutely. As right now, during the game, we have St. Charles 0 and Bishop Hartley 13. You are watching the Bishop Hartley YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brick League Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV. Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net.
Welcome back to Jack Ryan Field as the Cardinals 0, the Hawks 13. As the Hawks takes the ball at the 25-yard line, looking to march 1st and 10 to the ball at the 36-yard line. Have you ever considered a career in broadcasting? If so, check out the Ohio Media School, located in Columbus. If you're interested in radio and TV production or digital media marketing, the Ohio Media School is a choice for you. Visit beonair.com/Columbus or follow them on all social media platforms. Ohio Media School, we change lives.
I'll tell you what, your man Andrew McFeeters was in there, number 51, and grasping at that ball. And I think he ripped it out, but it was right as the whistle blew, so it was almost a turnover. So I think Hartley is set for a turnover here as they're constantly grappling at that ball.
As you see that DeSacio get the ball off that jet sweep for a gain of 1. As you see the Hawks basically looking, they see that Stanikowski can't throw the ball. And I think they realizing that all he's doing is rushing the ball. So now they're getting that penetration from the D-line right now and forcing the Cardinals to try to run outside instead of inside like they've been doing.
That's right. So you have Bowers down here at the end, did a magnificent job. So he punched with his right arm and maintained leverage with his left and kept the guy from getting to the edge. And then finally he dipped inside to secure the inside. And the guy had to go outside, and the safety flew right up.
Absolutely. As we 3rd down and 7, ball on the 39-yard line. Stanikowski in the backfield with Nimley back there with him. He fakes the handoff. He throws it incomplete, intended for number 9, Nick Benison.
So that's the second time that St. Charles has ran those quick little slants. But every time I'm watching this, so the third time, watch it, the third or the fourth time, I can almost guarantee you number 12, the linebacker, is going to jump it and take it for a pick 6.
Right.
So he's half a step away from jumping it on that time. Run it a couple more times, they're going to jump it and take it to the house.
He's just waiting for his moment. You're right about that. Dylan Newsome, as right there, like he had opportunity. As the Cardinals in punt formation, we had Trayvon Saunders back there to receive. He called for a fair catch. He let it bounce to the 20-yard line. Then that's where the Hawks will receive the ball at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
And Trey likes to do things back there receiving those punts because he is a seasoned veteran. So usually you'll see a kid call a fair catch at the last minute and feel compelled to have to catch it when they're not comfortable with it. But when you have a seasoned veteran back there and they call a fair catch, they don't feel comfortable catching it, or they're not in a good position because they know they'll fumble it.
Right.
He just steps away from it.
Right.
Yeah, I give up 3 yards, but I didn't fumble it.
As Underwood passes to number 9, Saunders. Saunders stutter steps. He gets past and he shows that speed. He breaks the tackle. He's down the field to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Touchdown, Hawks. Trayvon Saunders, as you just said it right there, and he shows that speed a little bit right there.
So that's the difference that happens, right? So when you're back there receiving punts and you let it go, you give up that 2 yards to live to fight another day, and then the very next play you turn the Jets on. So it's basically just an outside screen. Great placement by the quarterback that we talked about. And right here, puts a little, give him a little leg, give him a shake and bake. Whoop, nope, get off me. Now it's speed time. Turn on the afterburners, and like they said, see you later, Goose.
As Underwood throws another touchdown there. Hey, like you said earlier, man, Forte and Underwood, giving the ball to your playmakers. And Saunders is one of your playmakers right there, as it like they're going for 2 again.
And this is another great call by Birchfield, trying to figure out how can we get a 2-point conversion for later on down the year, right?
That's right.
So we got to keep practicing it. And Saunders, when he turned on those Jets, kind of reminded me of Top Gun, where he said, "Where'd he go?" Goose said, "Where'd who go?" And so permission to buzz the tower as the speed was turning on coming down the field. And you could feel those afterburners all the way up here.
Trayvon Saunders scored his 2nd touchdown tonight on the night that happened to be senior night. So that's one way to go out on your senior night.
Well, the blessing of a kid like Saunders putting on a display like this, especially for the alumni, because we have all these old guys sitting out here saying, "Hey, son, that used to be me back in the day." Yep, I did that move right there. Look, that spin move, I did that right there. But now Dad is in the basement hitting the spin move on the Control X and the 0.
Absolutely.
So he's done a great job for us to have some good memories to think back of what we used to do.
All 4 years, you're right. Saunders a great athlete. As Coach Birchfield called that timeout, and he's come back out, and Underwood rolls to the right. He passed the ball. The ball is incomplete, intended for Anthony Murphy, as we see the replay.
When you have a bunch set over there, so you got basically 4 receivers and multiple sets, you're trying to go to the back of that end zone. Murph was open in the back, but I think he hit his underneath man. He was trying his underneath man, which was the running back leaking out.
Niall Johnson.
And so that was Johnson just leaking out. But Murph was open in the back corner.
Absolutely. That's what we were seeing right there on the replay. That's what we thought. We thought that he threw it to him. We thought that he threw it to Murphy, who was open in the back corner of the end zone. But as you see right there, it was Niall Johnson he threw it to. And right there, he was unable to complete it. So right now, the score, your Bishop Hartley Hawks 19 and the St. Charles Cardinals 0.
And knowing Brad Birchfield, he is going crazy right now. He is not satisfied with his special teams at all. So special teams, you have to execute at a high level. So that's the next level of the game. And if you're not executing special teams at a high level, you're not playing football.
Absolutely.
And that's in all phases of the game, especially when you're in games that you're supposed to win.
Absolutely. As Gabriel kicks the ball off, back there to receive is number 18, Will McFadden, and for a touchback, Alex Gabriel for a touchback, as we have a penalty on the play, actually a couple markers on the play, as we see right now what that is and who the call will be against.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's some extracurricular activities happening out there, and a kid got rolled over, some talking and some prayers, and I think that was Gavin Leonard. So young Gavin's a young kid, but Gavin has to know it's always the person who throws the second punch.
Right, that's going to get caught. And as you see right here, he got caught. And I'm pretty sure Coach Birchfield will let him know about that. You cannot do things like that. I understand you get frustrated, but like you said, it's always the second person that get caught, and that's it was.
So we have a really good alumni base here, and I know Gavin, I know his dad, I know his family, I know where the kid lives. Mm-hmm. The kid lives within a stone throw from St. Charles. So tell me there's not bad blood there. Tell me this kid is not excited.
Oh, very excited.
All right, but you got to maintain it because it just cost you 15. But I'm sure he'll have a stiff talking to when he gets home from his pops.
Absolutely. Stanikowski in the backfield with Fred Nimley back there. We have a penalty on the play. False start offense.
So a play like that with a kid like Gavin, it's not about the score at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. What ends up happening is, because Gavin knows it, what ends up happening is, well after the game is over, basketball season rolls around, that same kid's going to say, I rolled you. And Gavin's like, no, sir, you're not going to get away with it. No. You're not going to talk about me all year long.
Absolutely. Stanikowski dropped back for pass, set up another screen. Pass is incomplete to number 1, Fred Nimley, as it looked like Daniel Tucson was on the pressure.
And we'll call this the Tucson prowl. Boom. Speed, punches, and gets through because Daniel knows I got to make a decision now. I know it's a screen because he's reading it. So I have to get to the quarterback as quickly as possible with the fastest amount of steps possible. And his fast twitch muscles are so fast, he closes on you just like a panther. Absolutely. And he's in your face and creates all that pressure.
Absolutely. And it seemed like the Hawks were prepared for that screen pass right there, too, as the ball's hand off to Nimley. Nimley bounces out to the left, and he's hit right there by number 7, Deontay Hubbard. As we watch the replay right here, Nimley gets the ball, follow his block to the right.
And your end is doing a good job holding up, and then your safety just comes through and fills. So that was a really good play.
Absolutely. As the Hawks prepare for this 3rd down and 10, the ball on the 35-yard line. Stanikowski in the backfield. He changes the play right now. Nimley in the backfield. He drops back to pass. He surveys the field. He steps up in the pocket. He throws it. He's looking for number 34, Pete DeSasio, and that ball
fight. It's a fight. They're going to give to the offense.
Yeah, you're right about that. The ball was caught by number 34, Pete DeSasio. Archer Stanikowski to Pete DeSasio.
And usually when it comes down with dual possessions like that, the defense think they have it, but it goes to the offense in dual possession. A quarterback just steps up and floats it up there. Now the defensive back had the interception and he was ready. So what the defensive back has to do is get to the highest point. He waited a millisecond on that ball, get to the highest point of the ball, get your hands on it instead of waiting for the ball to come to you.
Absolutely.
And now the offensive guy just went in and got it.
Absolutely. And that was a dangerous pass by Stanikowski. Cassanders was in position to pick up that ball, but great job by DeSasio to catch the ball and live to fight another day. On that first down run, for number 1 Nimley is good for 2 yards. 2nd down and 8 and the ball on the 35-yard line.
And Andrew McFeeters is up in the middle just holding it down. I mean, he is a tugboat in that middle, holding everything together. He's the glue of that defense in that middle because people are trying to stretch the outside, can't get to the outside, so now they have to test that middle, and they're testing his metal tonight.
Absolutely. Stanikowski in the backfield. Nimley in the backfield with him. He hands the ball off to Nimley. Nimley breaks a tackle, and he's gained tackle right there by the Hawks for a gain of so he actually lost a yard.
And this is textbook football right here, trying to kick out Daniel Tucson. Daniel fights to the inside of number 73, folks. So that's what you want to do. And then McFeeters comes off because he saw his guy pulling, so he's able to work down the line. So now you have a defensive tackle pushing down. Your nose guard's coming around making a tackle on the scrape. Your linebackers are following over the top, and your safety is filling. That is textbook football. They'll watch this play over and over and over and look at the technique. This is what an elite team looks like on defense.
That's right. 3rd and 9, ball on 36-yard line. Stanikowski and the shotgun. He brings number 34, DeSasio, in motion. He hands it off to DeSasio. DeSasio runs it to the right side for a gain of 6.
And this is a good call by St. Charles, recognizing that there are 3 defensive linemen in, and it's all linebackers and defensive backs. So they're just trying to inch forward and get some yardage and put it in a respectable situation for a 4th down. So now we got 4th and 2, and this is a big call for St. Charles.
A manageable 4th and 2 as that.
So the last couple times they've tried to run those quick slants and they've dropped them. So if they get in that trips formation, let's see if they try to run those quick slants, and watch number 12 to see if he jumps it. So now they have them spread out. And in this formation, they usually try to run a little wide, so let's see what happens.
Absolutely, and watch, like we have seen in the previous play, DeSacio usually come in motion as we get a penalty right there on the play.
And you have to be mentally prepared.
Anthony Murphy on a penalty there to give the Cardinals an automatic first down. So they didn't even have to run the play because they was able to get them off sides there.
It was a hard bark by the quarterback, which is what he wanted to do. You see the quarterback bob his head? Mm-hmm. And so now Anthony's watching that quarterback bob his head, but you have to watch the motion.
Yep. So first down and 10, the ball on the 24-yard line, 6:40 left in the second quarter. The Cardinals march in here. First down and 10.
I love this tight bunch set. They're just going to try to ram it.
Sanikowski in the backfield. Sanikowski.
Oh, it's fumble. It's fumble.
Okay, Sanikowski hands the ball off to Pete DeSacio. Pete DeSacio come around the corner, but the Hawks was not fooled, and he fumbles the ball, picked up by the Hawks.
So they try to bunch it up real tight, do a little razzle-dazzle, have him come around the edge. He drops it, and then it squirts out of his stomach, and the ball's just laying there, and you can't. It's like slow motion. Nobody can get to it, right? And then finally somebody comes in and jumps on it.
So the same person who just picked up that penalty was the one who forced that fumble, and Anthony Murphy.
And that's what you call having a goldfish memory. You can't linger on that kind of stuff. 5 seconds, let it go, move on to the next play, and now you just made a great turnover.
Absolutely. Underwood pass is complete to who else? Number 9, Trayvon Saunders. Trayvon Saunders breaks one tackle and picks up another Hawks first down.
And what folks don't realize with that kind of play right there, that's what we call a play off for the offensive line. Mm-hmm. So we got guys that are going both ways. It's a little warmer tonight. But when you get that quick little screen out there, let the wide receiver do his thing, the offensive line doesn't have to expend that much energy because they were just on defense for quite some time.
Absolutely. Now Johnson in the backfield as he motioned him out to the left. He swings it out to Johnson. Johnson passes. He catches the pass. He stutter steps there. Looking for some room. Cardinal was there for the stop.
And that's the trappings of a game like this, because every play that you touch the ball, you want to be that guy that makes the home run, right? Mm-hmm. So in this kind of setup, trust your speed. Trust your speed. Don't look for that gap. Use your gas and go. And he has more than enough speed. This kid has some afterburners.
You're right about that. As we have a second down and 6, ball on the 46-yard line. As you talked about now, Johnson, who just has a tremendous season this year. As you talk about that speed and we highlight that week in and week out. As Underwood pass was batted down, intended for Deontay Hubbard as we hit the replay right here. And Nick Benison on the stop.
Yeah, and it's basically just a play action, and the guy got through on a big rush and got his big old paws up there. But as the quarterback, you got to see that guy coming through, and sometimes it's too late right when you release it. You see him, and you think it's like a yo-yo. You want to pull it right back in, but you can't. The ball's already gone. And I'm loving the chess pieces out here right now.
As he tosses the ball to Johnson, Johnson gets the ball to the left.
And this is their quintessential Hartley play. Let's go student body to the boundary and put a whole bunch of bodies in and just squeeze down and try to find a wedge. And this is the part that I like about the young man. He hit the gas on that one.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to pick up 3 yards. I'm not going to dance around.
Exactly what you
I'm
told
going to get my 3 and go.
Right.
Put us in a good situation here for fourth down.
So 4th down and 3, Underwood under center, and he gets a Cardinal to jump, and that's number 78. Number 78.
So Hartley gets that 5-yard penalty, same as earlier before when St. Charles jumped, or when Hartley jumped against St. Charles.
As he get number 78, Ibram Igabuki to jump to give the Hawks another first down. The ball's on a 47-yard line. Underwood's under and shotgun. He passes to number 3, Richard Kinney. Richard Kinney has a block inside. He hurdles for another Hawks first down.
Oh, everybody's trying to sniff that end zone. Come on, Richard. Hit the gas and go, baby. Hit the gas and go.
As we see the replay here, Underwood swings it out there to Kenny. Kenny uses that speed, has those blockers in front of him. He followed that block, and right here, whoop, like you said, hurdle.
Just use your speed. Use your speed. And the thing that this Richard has to be careful of is once he decides to go, he has to go because you're in no man's land trying to jump over a guy. And now with Ohio high school football, they'll call that hurdling, and that'll be another 15.
Right.
So you have to be careful with that.
Right, absolutely. As Ryan Mooney on a stop there, 4:05 left in the second quarter. The Hawks are marching down the field in scoring position. Underwood hands the ball off to Hubbard. Hubbard picks up a gain about 4.
So this is going to drive a defensive coordinator crazy because you have the three-headed monster in there. So you have Hubbard and you have Johnson, and then you have 31 is Bowers.
Bowens, yep, Bowens.
So you have those three bouncing around in there with lots of speed, lots of strength, and you don't know where they're coming from and who's going to get the ball. And then at the same time, you have this elite speed on the edge at the receivers with these quick little flares. So how do you defend that as a defensive coordinator?
Right.
It just drives you nuts.
You're right. As the Hawks makes a substitution, as we get Dylan Newsome on the field now. Underwood in shotgun brings Saunders in motion. Saunders go back to the right. He hands it off to Johnson. Johnson up the middle. Johnson missing, making people miss tackles for Hartley. Touchdown.
And so that Hartley touchdown was set up on 5 plays ago as we watched the replay. So you see a great block, lead block through by the fullback, and just saying, I'm going to plant and go.
Absolutely.
So he's not dancing around too much. He's just going to plant and go, and I think that was set up from 5 plays ago. When you hit that hole, you have to explode through the hole and get the pay dirt. You don't want to dance too much. Just put in a move and go.
Absolutely.
Trust your speed.
Exactly how he did right there. That's Niall Johnson. Like rushing back on the field. Because like they're going for 2 again. But you know, also, as we just watched the replay, having Trey Saunders going off that, it seemed like that jet sweep, like he's going to get the ball back. That also helped because the defense went that way and Johnson went the opposite way.
And it stretches the defense a lot. So there's a flag on the play. This is the stuff that's going to keep Brad Birchfield up all night long. So multiple 2-point conversions that aren't converted. People aren't organized. People are still on the sideline, not knowing what play it is, when to go in, not lining up right, and then you fumble on top of that.
Right.
So these things have to get cleaned up. There is no other way around that. But it's good to practice this kind of stuff in a game because in practice it works every time.
Right.
But in the game time, something happened where it didn't work. So you got to start getting this stuff cleaned up.
So do you think it's the rivalry setting? That's the reason why Coach Birchfield is going for tools, or he just trying to see something different?
Well, what it does is it creates more video and more tape for the other teams down the road to have to practice. Mm-hmm. More things gets out of your tendencies. Mm-hmm. So anytime you can spend an additional 3, 4, 5 minutes in practice going over this stuff, you're taking 3, 4, 5 minutes away from the bread and butter trying to defend Hartley.
You're right. Because most teams haven't saw that yet.
Yes. So you're adding more to the arsenal and more to defend, and you're stretching out their practice time a little bit. And that's the purpose of having stuff like this.
Absolutely.
But the great thing is you're also working on it in action because you might need it down the road.
Absolutely. As Nick Malika is back to receive the ball, as a penalty moves the Hawks back to the 25-yard line, the kick is off, and it is caught and returned at the 15-yard line. He goes up the middle. That's number 18. Is a flag on the play, and he is tackled right there at the 35-yard line, but there's a penalty on the play.
That's all kinds of laundry. I think every official threw out their flags. And I think even officials have to sort out whose flag is whose.
Right, absolutely. As number 18, Will McFadden on a carry. But that penalty is like it's against the Cardinals, and they're going to march it back. So the yard that he did get is going to come back, as you said. Every rep threw the flag on that one. So
yeah, it's a blatant block in the back. That's the number one call on kickoff returns too, you know.
Right. And that's going to make coaches angry anytime, especially when you get positive yards, but now you keep going back, negated by penalties.
Yeah, you just had a 15, so now you traded it back again.
Right, especially when they're not having much success moving the ball on the Hawks defense.
Against a team like Hartley, you cannot have penalties, and you have to execute at a high level.
Absolutely. Stanikowski in the backfield. He hands it off to Nimley. And another flag on the play. Nimley picks up 2 yards on the play.
And that was an aggressive flag, aggressive. That official just threw it in that pile, and it looked like it's going to be either holding.
So we have illegal use of the hands by
By
number
the big
7.
fella.
Yep, Isaac Asidu.
The big fella. So the big fella's in there with the violent hands. We always talk about having violent hands playing on the inside. But at some point in time, big fella, you got to tuck him back in.
Right, absolutely. As you see right there, as the Cardinals pick back up those 5 yards, they just lost right there.
And usually in those situations where it's illegal use of the hands on the defensive line, there's a lot of conversation happening in that pile. There's a lot of jabbering going on. There's a lot of yo mama jokes happening.
We have trips out to the right. DeSacio out in motion. He hands it off to Nimley. Nimley rushes a gang of Hawks on a stop for a pickup of 1.
And it's the same thing. It's a bunch of window dressing, good motion, but the big fella says, hey, no, sir. No, sir, I'm going to maintain my ground on the inside and taking on multiple blockers on the inside. So that's strength. Having that level of strength, you got to stand inside and take on that lineman and take on the running back.
Absolutely. As it looked like, the same person that got that penalty was the one that got that tackle right there, number 77, Isaac Asidu. As Stanikowski's in the backfield, trips to his right. He hands it off to Nimley. Nimley rushes up the middle and stopped by a gang of Hawks for a pickup of 1 yard.
So they're trying to wear down that middle of Bishop Hartley and then hopefully come out here, come out in trips and try to run the flare again is what I'm speculating. So we'll see how that works out as the big fella comes off to catch a quick breath. And he's getting coached up on the sideline, which is what you love to see.
That's right.
So when the kids come off the sideline at Hartley, they're getting coached up before they go back in. That's always a plus. And now we're down to 3 linemen, and we'll see what happens with this matchup.
Stanikowski hands the ball off to Nimley. Nimley runs to the right side for a gain of 2. As Coach Birchfield calls a Hartley timeout as he looks to gets the ball back or stop the clock to get the ball back with 51 seconds left in the second quarter. As the Cardinals look like they're after this timeout should come out in front formation, or do you think they should go for it with 4th and 2 right now on the ball on the 38-yard line? What you think?
So with 4th and 2, you're down 25 zip. I say flip the field on a punt and make Hartley go the distance in 50, 40 seconds, or whatever the case is. Hartley has not returned a punt yet tonight. It's either been fair catch or they let it bounce. Give yourself a fighting chance. But if you don't get this first down, chances are you won't, and you turn it over, it's curtains. And so they're coming out in punt formation, so let's see.
Absolutely. Like you just said, so we have Matt Seeland for the Cardinals punting it off to Trey Saunders, who was just itching for the opportunity to finally get that punt return that he's waiting on as Hartley brings the house. And Trey calls for the fair catch as Hartley, they just put an all-out blitz.
Well, that's a good special teams practice right there where you're going for the block, and now you can go back to film to see why didn't we get the block, what pieces do we need to change up in those situations in the future when we do need to get the block.
Right, absolutely. As Trey Saunders fair catches the balls at the 31-yard line, as you see the crowd was upset that the clock was just running there.
Yeah, so they'll reset the clock. I'm sure the officials kept time on the clock. 11 seconds didn't run off. So
Definitely did not run off. The ball was not even in the air that long. You're right about that. Underwood and shotgun formation, a penalty on the play.
So we have a legal formation.
It's weird. The referee just called unsportsmanlike conduct on Coach Birchfield. But now Coach Birchfield, as we see right here, is trying to figure out what happened. What did he do?
So one of the things that you have to understand with Birch in this case, he's a high competitor. And when we say the East Side game matters, the East Side game matters. There's no letting down. There's 100% coaching, passion, wanting to win because he's competing with all the kids in his program. They compete on a daily basis. But this is one of the things that you also have to throttle back as a coach. You don't want to cause the 15 on the kids. And I know you want to get the attention of the officials. But there comes a point in time when the officials are like, okay, it's a little much.
But as a player, that's the type of coach you want to play for, right? You want to play for somebody that has your back, who's going to stay on the refs, especially for the sake of his team.
Absolutely, and you got to, as a coach, you got to figure out when that time is. There's certain points in a game. If it's a close game and you do that and you cost your team 15, it'll break your team. In a game like this where you're trying to keep your kids motivated at 25 zip, and they're seeing that you're still fighting, they're going to have to continue to fight.
As we look at the replay here to see what just happened.
So Birch is yelling at the official down here at the bottom right. I think we caught a little bit of it. And I think that the issue was, just like the crowd, they were all yelling about the scoreboard.
Okay.
I think it was the time.
Okay.
It was the issue. So when we're looking at the time issue where it's at 40 seconds, and we're all looking and wondering, okay, how did 11 seconds come off the clock on a punt that was fair caught?
Absolutely. As we just found out that it was the clock issue, that the clock itself did not move. So Coach Birchfield has a reason to be upset because, like you just said, there's no way 11 seconds just came off the clock on a fair catch and the punt in the air for not that long. So I understand where Coach Birchfield's coming from. And like you said, those players is going to feed off that energy because he's going to fight for them.
And you saw Birch walking down the field with that little grin on his face, and it's almost like that Tony Soprano grin. And it's one of those where he's like, okay, I knew I was right, but let's go.
He said, basically, I'm going to fight for you regardless if it's 11 seconds that took off the clock or 30 seconds took off the clock.
Absolutely.
As we wait on that single for the ref.
Right now we kind of have this lull for the officials to kind of get this thing started.
There we
and
go.
That's a lot of moving parts for a 15-yard penalty.
Absolutely. As Underwood's in the shotgun. He bring Hubbard across the line. He passes it off to Saunders. Saunders catch the ball. He makes one miss. He makes another miss. Oh, he stays on his feet. He's goal. And he's tackled by a gang of Cardinals. The clock is still running. Second down and 20.
And so Trey needed to get out of bounds on that, and they'll clean that up. But he made the first guy miss, but then he went back into traffic trying to bust a big one. So you got to get out of bounds and save the clock.
Underwood drop back to pass. He throws it to number 3, Kenny. Kenny gets the ball. He make a couple miss. He tried to get out of bounds.
And that's when they run a slip screen, and Kenny tried to bust it up the middle, saw it wasn't there, and try to fight back to get out of bounds. But I think this is one of those where you just let the clock run, go in at halftime, and recoup.
Absolutely. So as Coach Birchfield, he right there was just, he said, let's go into halftime up 25-0. Let's not make no more damage. Let's not, get our players hurt or try to, go for the bomb. Take the 25-0 lead into halftime and build on that and come on out.
Yeah, and usually that's when you start getting some injuries too. Guys get nicked up because you're trying to do too much. Every play doesn't need to be that home run touchdown, but everybody wants to put their speed on display in a game like this, a night like tonight. Alumni, senior night, parents are here. So everybody wants to put their play on display. We got college coaches here, scouts, recruiters. Everybody in Central Ohio is watching this game. It's on TV. I want to hear my name called. I want to see the touchdown on TV. So, but you got to take it one step at a time, one play at a time, and set it up.
So what do you need? What are you looking for Hartley in the second half? What are you looking for them to do in the second half to, get an opportunity for some of these younger guys to play for a second week in a row?
Yeah, so coming out in the third quarter, just like the first half, I think Hartley needs to get that identity, and they're starting to get it there with some chips that they're playing with the three-headed monster and those running backs. So that running back is, what is that, Hubbard, Johnson, and the last one is Bowens. So trying to get those three in a rotation and create some chess pieces there, get them through the third quarter, let them sit, or even halfway through the third quarter, and then start getting the younger guys in so you can start to see that talent develop over time.
Same thing for the Cardinals, man. What do you think the Cardinals need to do, down 25-0 right now? So what do you think the Cardinals need to do to make this a closer game?
Well, and then I think at this point what the Cardinals are trying to do is they're just trying to persevere. How do we walk out of here unscathed? Don't get nicked up, don't get beat up, because you still have a schedule to play. This played like your Super Bowl at the front end, but leaving out of here beat up and banged up, without a quarterback, without a running back, without a lineman or something like that, that's not what you want to build your program, because they're building as well, right, and they need healthy bodies.
Right. You're absolutely right about that. After 2 quarters, St. Charles Cardinals 0, your Bishop Hartley Hawks 25. We're at halftime. This is the Bishop Hartley YouTube channel. We'll be right back with halftime.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brick League Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV. Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brick League Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV. Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
See the hawks flying lights on mountain. See the red and blue above. Hartley voices join to honor and to praise the school we love. May she ever walk in glory, valiant and brave and true. As above each field of strife waves rocking red and blue, sing praise to Bishop Hartley high, send cheers the heights to sever, proudly proclaim her honored name, resound her glory ever.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brickleg Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV. Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
See the hawks flying lights on mountain. See the red and blue above. Hartley voices join to honor and to praise the school we love. May she ever walk in glory, valiant
Here at Ohio Athletic Performance, we have truly aligned our passions with our path and our purpose for why we are here. The vision for our company is to be able to influence and impact other people so they have the ability to reach the heights of their genetic potential, whatever that is. We train a wide demographic of individuals, all the way from young athletes to full-grown adults. We choose the things that we program very intentionally. And beyond the physical preparation that we offer people, for us it really is about the development of the holistic person, to be able to identify the things that they need, maybe unbeknownst to themselves, and then being able to bridge the gap for whatever it is that they want in their life, or what they aspire to have, or where they say that they want to go. So for us, we have aligned our passions with our purpose, and we know that we're on the proper path. And now what we're trying to do is facilitate that opportunity for everybody else to do the same.
We take physical preparation incredibly serious here at Ohio Athletic Performance. It's something that we pride ourselves on, whether it be athletes or adult clients. It's something that we want to make sure we're providing to the best of our ability. We want to make sure it's orthopedically safe. If they need rehabilitation, that's something that we can provide for them. And as Coach Trapp said, we're always intentional with everything we do, and we want to take the right steps to give that person exactly what they need.
From the adult perspective, the three things we see: a sense of community, improved health, and a great outlet.
We are intensely passionate about what it is that we do and the service that we offer, and we would love for you to come join our community.
Hello, Hawks. My name is Lauren Whitlatch, and this is our Director of Admissions, Mrs. Rush. What would you like to tell us about any upcoming admission events?
The first thing I'd like to say is that I ask all of you to save the date for November 4th. It's a Thursday evening, and that will be our open house. So we invite middle school students who are interested in Bishop Hartley, as well as their families, to come to our open house event. That evening you'll hear from our principal, you'll get to take a campus tour, learn about our house system, our amazing academics, see our beautiful campus facilities, and all kinds of extracurriculars that we offer our students. So mark your calendar for November 4th, our open house.
How do we sign up and apply for these events?
So our admissions website, if you go to bishop-hartley.org, there's an admissions tab, and you can register for our upcoming events, and then our application will actually go live on that webpage on October 12th. So starting October 12th, once you fall in love with Hartley, if you're not already, then you can apply from our website. And the nice thing is, once you submit that application online, you'll get an email that gives you an individualized application checklist. And that's where you register for an admission test, upload your report cards, and things like that. So we absolutely help you every step along the way.
Is there any information you want to tell prospective students and their families?
Gosh, I would just encourage our prospective students to come and visit our school. Whether you come to open house or a shadow day, take a campus tour. Hartley is truly family. And although I wish I could bottle it up and put it in a marketing brochure, it's something you have to experience firsthand. And so, you know, we are who we say we are. We're a community, and we are built on faith, and our kids are brilliant and kind. And we want you to come on our campus and visit and experience that yourself. So I guess my advice to anyone looking into Bishop Hartley is make sure you visit us.
Yes, Hartley is a beautiful school, and we would love to have you come here. Thank you so much for everything you said today, Mrs. Rush. We really appreciate your efforts here at Hartley. Go Hawks!
Go Hawks!
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brickleg Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV. Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
See the hawks fly high, sun-bounded. See the red and blue above. Hartley voices join to honor and to praise the school we love. May she ever walk in glory, valiant and brave and true. As above each field of strife waves rocking red and blue, sing praise to Bishop Hartley high, send cheers of ice to sever, proudly proclaim her honored name, resound her glory ever.
Here at Ohio Athletic Performance, we have truly aligned our passions with our path and our purpose for why we are here. The vision for our company is to be able to influence and impact other people so they have the ability to reach the heights of their genetic potential, whatever that is. We train a wide demographic of individuals, all the way from young athletes to full-grown adults. We choose the things that we program very intentionally. And beyond the physical preparation that we offer people, for us it really is about the development of the holistic person, to be able to identify the things that they need, maybe unbeknownst to themselves, and then being able to bridge the gap for whatever it is that they want in their life, or what they aspire to have, or where they say that they want to go. So for us, we have aligned our passions with our purpose, and we know that we're on the proper path. And now what we're trying to do is facilitate that opportunity for everybody else to do the same.
We take physical preparation incredibly serious here at Ohio Athletic Performance. It's something that we pride ourselves on, whether it be athletes or adult clients. It's something that we want to make sure we're providing to the best of our ability. We want to make sure it's orthopedically safe. If they need rehabilitation, that's something that we can provide for them. And as Coach Trapp said, we're always intentional with everything we do, and we want to take the right steps to give that person exactly what they need.
From the adult perspective, the three things we see: a sense of community, improved health, and a great outlet.
We are intensely passionate about what it is that we do and the service that we offer, and we would love for you to come join our community.
Hello, Hawks. My name is Lauren Whitlatch, and this is our Director of Admissions, Mrs. Rush. What would you like to tell us about any upcoming admission events?
The first thing I'd like to say is that I ask all of you to save the date for November 4th. It's a Thursday evening, and that will be our open house. So we invite middle school students who are interested in Bishop Hartley, as well as their families, to come to our open house event. That evening you'll hear from our principal, you'll get to take a campus tour, learn about our house system, our amazing academics, see our beautiful campus facilities, and all kinds of extracurriculars that we offer our students. So mark your calendar for November 4th, our open house.
How do we sign up and apply for these events?
So our admissions website, if you go to bishop-hartley.org, there's an admissions tab, and you can register for our upcoming events, and then our application will actually go live on that webpage on October 12th. So starting October 12th, once you fall in love with Hartley, if you're not already, then you can apply from our website. And the nice thing is, once you submit that application online, you'll get an email that gives you an individualized application checklist. And that's where you register for an admission test, upload your report cards, and things like that. So we absolutely help you every step along the way.
Is there any information you want to tell prospective students and their families?
Gosh, I would just encourage our prospective students to come and visit our school. Whether you come to open house or a shadow day, take a campus tour, Hartley is truly family. And although I wish I could bottle it up and put it in a marketing brochure, it's something you have to experience firsthand. And so, you know, we are who we say we are. We're a community, and we are built on faith, and our kids are brilliant and kind. And we want you to come on our campus and visit and experience that yourself. So I guess my advice to anyone looking into Bishop Hartley is make sure you visit us.
Yes, Hartley is a beautiful school, and we would love to have you come here. Thank you so much for everything you said today, Mrs. Rush. We really appreciate your efforts here at Hartley. Go Hawks!
Go Hawks!
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Score on Air and the Ohio Media School, Dr. Hutta and Price Orthodontics, the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, Brick League Apparel, Ohio Athletic Performance, and Green Lawn RV. Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Hutta and Price Orthodontics. Have you ever looked forward to going to any type of a doctor? Well, neither have I, but let me tell you, I do look forward to seeing Doctors Hutta and Price when I go to their practice. You know why? Well, it's as Dr. Hutta says. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And at Hutta and Price Orthodontics, you will know that they care from the very first visit. To find out the services that they provide or to set up a consultation, just go to their website at lovethatsmile.net. If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
Can you see yourself working on TV, radio, or social media? As media professionals, we make our voice heard. Call the Ohio Media School and be a part of something bigger than you and me. You'll train and get the skills you need to work in TV, radio, social media, film, and much more.
I graduated and now am working as a director of marketing at a local radio station. My future is set.
Call the Ohio Media School now and be a part of something bigger. 614-723-9675. 614-723-9675.
Coming on April 2nd, Bishop Hartley is hosting their 31st annual Even of Excellence. Hartley's largest and most impactful fundraiser is back. Without the support of his families, alumni, students, staff, and local community, many of our students could not attend Bishop Hartley. Here's more.
Valley
proud partner with the Ohio Media School and Score on Air Network. The foundation has provided food and other essentials to families in Columbus, Northeast Quadrant since 2018, and also established the Porter Athletic League, the PAL, which provides a safe environment for youth 8 to 13 to play sports, study, and work with volunteers from the Columbus Police and Franklin County Sheriffs. For more information, visit Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation.org today. We are back here at Jack Ryan Field. Your Bishop Hartley Hawks 25, the St. Charles Cardinals 0. I'm back with Randall Sampson. I'm Deshaun Pate. We're back here with second half action. Randall, let's talk about a little bit of the first half a little bit.
Hey, the first half, before we get in the first half, I want to talk about this kickoff real quick. So I had my eyes on 35 on the kickoff. He was the kid that had the 15-yard penalty last time. He ran down the field, and the guy tried to bait him again and push him in the back. This time he put his hands up and walked off the field and said, I'm not going to do it, coach. So guess what? They addressed it at halftime. Yeah. I'm sure Dad went into the locker room and addressed it. But that's a good job of that kid readdressing it.
Stanikowski fakes the handoff. He bounces out to the left for pickup of 5 yards.
But I'm going to think, St. Charles is going to try to set it back up again like they did first half. Try to work that middle, go with the jet sweep, try to get out in space with their guys. And they were wide open on those slants. They just dropped the ball.
Yeah.
So, and they haven't gone back to it. So I want to see them go back to that a little bit more and hold on to the ball.
Yes, absolutely. Stanikowski in the backfield. He had Nimley back there with him. As they wait to play, Stanikowski gets the ball. He dropped back. He passed the ball to number 34. It's incomplete to Pete DeSasio.
And that seems to be their athlete. That's their go-to guy. So they got to get him on a roll, get him involved, and get him going. And they're trying to get him out in space a little bit to get him the ball. But Hartley's defense, they create so much pressure. And you wonder why a kid drops the ball, why the ball's incomplete. It's all this pressure that you feel, that you don't see it, but you can feel it while you're out there.
And Hartley been bringing the pressure all game. As we get ready for this 34, the ball's on the 26-yard line. Stanikowski in the backfield. He had Nimley in the backfield with him. He had trips to the right, singles to the top. He looks to pass. He passed to number 9, Nick Benison. It's incomplete. 4th down and 4 for the Hawks.
And that's that quick slant again. And they tried to cut it right in front of Hubbard. So Hubbard was trailing. So the guy was open. It's just that pressure. You're trying to get the ball out, and you have these big Grizzlies in your face like Murphy all up in your grill all day long. So you got to figure out how can I get the ball around these edges and get them through the creases.
And Murphy's he's a big kid, 6'4", 295, running in your face like that. Any quarterback, it don't matter if it's him or another quarterback, there's no way you're going to see over that to hit it to your intended receiver. As the Cardinals punt the ball, it's a short punt, and it takes a Hawks bounce to the 40-yard line. That's where he's down at the 40-yard line.
And it's one of those punts where you just kick it off the side of your foot with the toe of the ball, and it hits right there on the side of your foot because it got a lot of spin on it. And then it comes back and kicks back like a good golf shot. That's tough for St. Charles because now it's a short field for Hartley.
Absolutely. And as we still have Underwood at quarterback, but instead of the usual Now Johnson, we have Dylan Newsom in the backfield. Saunders come in motion. He hands it off to Newsom. Newsom breaks another tackle, and he brought down for a gain of nothing.
So now you're getting Newsom involved in the game too. So you had the three-header monster with the running backs. And once you put the fullback Newsom in the game as well, so now you're adding another wrinkle for the defense to have to think about. And you did some good dressing by having Trey go across because last time, first play, Trey touched it, touchdown.
Absolutely.
So they're watching for it now.
Absolutely. Underwood under center. He brings Saunders in motion again. This time he hands it off to Johnson. Johnson breaks a tackle. He breaks another tackle, and he leans forward to pick up a gain of 4 yards to get the Hawks a manageable 3rd down and 6, 7.
And that's basically just that inside trap where you fake the pitch and then you come right back with that inside trap counter call. And what I really like about it is You get a Donovan Davis out there, 6'1", 275 as a sophomore, blocking until the whistle. I mean, he is just mowing his guy all the way until the whistle. And then he stops. He says, I'm going to line up and give you some more.
Absolutely. Underwood in the shotgun. He hands the ball off to Johnson. Johnson slips down as he tried to make his initial move, and he is brought down by number 2, Nick Malaysia.
And that was a hard cut, so he really wanted to plant that foot and get out there. But I think if he would have just shuffled to the side and go, and he was ready. I mean, the setup was there. He had Murphy out there screening off his guy, and he was going to be up that sideline.
Absolutely. As the Hawks set up in punt formation, first punt of the game for the Hawks, as number 34, Pete DeSocio, is back to receive, as Peyton Underwood will be punting off for the first time tonight.
And that was a big fake. It's a fake. There he goes.
It's a fake, and there goes that guy that we keep talking about all day.
All right. That was a good fake. And what you're getting is you're getting some jackrabbits that are in there. And this is just another wrinkle. Another wrinkle. So now you have Bryce January. This is Bryce's second fake punt return that he's had this season. So they did one against Benedictine, and he got first down, and he picked up another one here.
Absolutely. Bryce January, the backup quarterback. So you have Peyton Underwood, who's the starting quarterback, who was the punter, and Bryce January, who was the down back, and he was the one that picked up the first down for the Hawks, who Bryce January was able to play last week against Centennial, and he did a pretty good job too. As Underwood rolled out to his left, he throws it. He has Saunders right there for the completion.
And that's a tough play for a quarterback who's right-handed and you're rolling left, and you have to throw across your body and you have to float it out. So it's good pressure by St. Charles getting there, but crossing your legs over and getting it out there to where only your guy can catch it.
For a gain of 13 yards, 1st and 10, Hawks.
And you can see the soft touch on the ball, great concentration, getting your hands on it.
He tosses the ball to Hubbard. Hubbard goes right up the middle for a Hawks touchdown.
Ooh, and that's that power rotation that we're talking about. So when you're the defense coordinator, you don't know who's going to get the ball. Hubbard's back there. You've got your fullback leading through. I mean, it is just carnage on the inside, and your guys are just getting pushed all over like rag dolls. But it makes it tough for that defense to hold up.
And you're right about that, as Hubbard gives the Hawks a different dynamic. As you see right here, he's just a different type of running back than Niall Johnson is, and Niall Johnson's a different type of running back than Hubbard is. And that's a great piece for Coach Birchfield. Coach Birchfield moving forward to the state tournament.
Well, and the other part is then you throw Newsom in there at the fullback because he's still lingering back there, and then you have Bowens that comes in as another spell. So what are you going to do? I mean, you have 4 rotations of guys that can come in, and then you have 3 rotations on the outside with speed. And let's not forget about the secret weapon in there. You got Anthony Murphy as an elite athlete out there, 6'3", 215 as a junior with very soft hands, great blocker. So you have all of these pieces, and how do you create a matchup as a defense coordinator trying to match up against that level of talent? But the most important key to it is those guys on the inside, those bulldozers on the inside, getting that push, because that's what we want. We want to get that push and get some pancakes going.
Absolutely. And sometimes it seems like the offensive line is the ones that don't get enough credit when they deserve the credit.
And this is what I want to see I want to keep my eye on number 35 on the screen. You see him right there in the top left-hand corner?
Yep.
Let's watch him. Let's see what happens, because this kid has some vengeance to get. All right, they're going to hold it back, and there he is. He's getting hit. He rolled. 35 said, hey, I'm putting my hands up, coach. I'm not going to get into it, and he trots off the field.
Alex Gabriel with another touchback there. We haven't called Alex Gabriel name a lot because Bishop Hartley been going for a lot of twos. So we haven't really been seeing a lot of kicks from Gabriel. So it's good to see him back out there, you know.
Absolutely. And this alumni base is so great, right? When you talk about a kid like Gavin there throwing his hands up.
Yeah.
His grandfather, I remember his grandfather when I played, great guy, a veteran, served the country well, raised his kids well, raised his grandkids well, and that's the kind of kid that you get when you come to Hartley. That family atmosphere comes from good people, and when he makes a mistake, he knows how to correct it.
Right.
He doesn't linger on it. So the last 2 times he's flying down the field, he's young, playing special teams, flies down the field, makes a play, had a penalty, corrects it, goes down the next 2 times, does it perfectly. You got to love that.
Absolutely, absolutely. As a coach and as a fan and as an alumni. Yep, we love that. Good job by Gavin Leonard. Good job by him.
So I'm thinking hopefully by 4th quarter he can get some play time now.
Hopefully so, especially with the score looking the way it looked. Nominally receives a handoff, still moving the pile, tackled by a gang of Hawks.
And I love the way that the running back kept chopping his feet in there, but Isaac said, this is not going to happen. The big fella's like, hey, I'm going to swallow all this up. It's cookie time. Come on over to the Cookie Monster. Let's have it.
2nd down and 7, the ball on the 36-yard line. I ask you this, Randall. When do the Cardinals decide, hey, we're down 32 points? When do we start throwing the ball instead of keep running the ball?
Well, at this point, what they're trying to do is, hey, let's keep the clock moving. Let's get out of here alive.
Mm-hmm.
Because we see these 4 monsters up the front, and they're hungry, and they're going to eat everything in sight. So now let's just keep the clock moving and keep it going.
Stanikowski hands the ball off once again to Nominally. Nominally is bounced out to the right. He stopped.
And you can see my man over here at the defensive end. Bowens is feasting on this offensive tackle, feasting. So now it's almost becoming one of those where it's, okay, Coach, we don't want to get our players hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, but we have to play the game. So we got to keep the clock moving.
Absolutely.
And if I'm St. Charles, I'll wait until the very last second to snap the ball, maximize the clock. And that should have been the game plan coming in. They try to open it up with passing and getting fancy. They should have tried to maximize the clock, keep that Hartley offense on the sideline, and let that defense play minute to minute, second to second.
Stankowski drops back. He throws it to his receiver, number 34, Pete DeSocio. Pass is incomplete.
See, and it's dangerous plays like this. So you're on 3rd down. You got double coverage back there. Hartley has all kinds of speed. You're not going to take the top off the defense. I know you want to keep them honest, but run your quick slants like you had guys open on the quick slants.
Yeah, absolutely.
Run those quick slants because these 4 guys up front, they're not going to give you a lot of time because Tucson's coming.
Right, every time.
And you can see his nostrils flaring. You can see him coming. That bull is coming. And he has great technique, great speed, great strength. So that quarterback has a clock ticking in his head. And he knows it's curtains if he doesn't get it.
And he also is kicking into double coverage every time.
Every single time.
As Trey Saunders finally get the he picks up the ball, and he's immediately brought down by number 2, Nick Malika. So, first and 10.
And Trey really tried to play a little hot with that football.
Yeah.
I understand you want to look upfield to see the traffic coming, but you got to focus on that football on the ground if you're going to pick it up.
Right, absolutely.
So you got to focus on the field football, secure the football, because just like last time when they had a punt, he fair caught it, or he let it go, let him get 2 extra yards, but then the next play he went pay dirt for 80.
Right. But he was just so excited to get that chance. He haven't had a chance to return the punt all night.
Not all night.
So he seen that ball finally bounce in his face with no pressure as Underwood pass complete to Niall Johnson. Niall Johnson gets the ball. He stutter steps, and he steps out of bounds to pick up a gain of never mind, to pick up a Hawks first down.
He just needed a half a step more on that sideline. He just ran out of room on that sideline. If he gets half a step more, and that's the conundrum right there. This is what's going to drive our defense crazy. So you have Bowens getting the fake on the inside, the big power back, and then you swing it to your speed back, and now you're back to Bowens, say, boom, get off me.
Bowens with the stiff arm, another stiff arm. Bowens is going at the 30, at the 25, at the 20, at the 50, at the 10, and he's tackled at the 5-yard line.
Right out at it got down to about the 1.5-yard line, but the big fella rumbling, stumbling.
Sherrod Bowens tried to go the distance right here. As we watched the replay, we just talked about him on the lead block. And now he gets the ball, stiff arm, boom. Stiff arm again, boom. Another stiff arm.
Well, the ability to turn on the speed, that's the impressive part right there. So what I really liked about it is he trusted his speed. He said, I'm going to try to bite this corner and go and break your angle, and I'm going to try to get there, and he came up about half-yard short.
Jackson Congrove saved another touchdown right there as Hartley scores another touchdown, and they rewarded Sherrod Bowens for a Hartley touchdown.
And they told the big guy, come on, finish it up, get it in there, cross the line for us, let's get it. And this is all just the big fellas up front getting a push. And at the end, what I like to see is the running back continue to churn his legs. He got hit right at the line and got that final push over the edge. And he's tired. The big guy's tired. But, you know, they called his number, and he said, all right, Coach, I think I got one more left in me before I have to come out.
Also, another thing is he plays both sides of the ball, so he barely comes out. So not only is that a factor as well, that he got the ball, got him all the way down, and then he finished it off. Now he got to rest a little bit, get a little bit of water, and go right back out there.
So you got a big kid like this that he ran 70 yards on that last play, and he's a defensive end on defense.
Yeah.
So that lets you know the level of speed that those kids have when they get that on defense. And you're wondering, well, why isn't that offensive tackle blocking that defensive end? Coach, he's a running back with elite speed. I can't even get to him. He's just way too fast, way too quick, and big.
You're right about that.
And when they try to run that power at him, he pushes back. He takes on that offensive tackle plus the running back, so he has a lot of power.
Absolutely. And for 6'2", 240, as we see another replay, no way a guy this big should be able to move this fast as we watch the replay.
Well, and what you're being taught here in this replay, even the first guy trying to make the tackle the big fella up high on his chest, slow him down, and hang on for dear life. But when you bounce off of his chest like you're trying to tackle Superman, oh, man, bad things happen. Bad things happen.
It's been a great 2 weeks for Sherrod Bowman, who, like I told you last week against Centennial, was able to find end zone twice, and he also found end zone twice tonight. So good job by Sherrod Bowens showing that he can not only block, but also can run as well as other good running backs. But like we talked about earlier, this is going to be huge when, you know, next week going into St. Vincent St. Mary, and also when it's time for the state tournament that's also coming upon us.
Well, you could never have enough running backs in this offense. So trying to find that right mix of running backs, trying to get those guys the confidence to do it. And right there, that's a big-time play on defense. When you see your defender coming up and making that strip, and let's see what the call is. Did they throw a flag on that? No.
No.
So that was I think that was Anthony Murphy that came up and dislodged the ball. The ability to close, what people don't understand is for you to close that fast and to run up on a wide receiver with that much speed and make a play and not whiff.
Right.
So the whiff is the hardest part ever.
So if you're Coach Birchfield and you're coaching right now, when do you decide that I need to take my starters out and start it's not looking ahead like we talked about, but start preparing for St. V a little bit?
Yeah, and you don't want to have wholesale changes in the middle of the game, so you slowly start subbing people in. Probably here we're at the end of the third quarter. So once end of the third quarter hits, fourth quarter, you start subbing people in. And we saw Joey Wooten's in there right now. So Joey's a young kid in there, pure athlete, and Joey's standing about 6'1", 180 as a sophomore. So now he's in there trying to get some reps, and that's what it comes down to. How do we get more reps in live action like this? And now they're starting to slowly sub people in. As you can see, Anthony Murphy's coming out, and he gets a sub in.
Seneca's have trips to the right. He drops back to pass. He looks. He throw the ball. He has number 34 out there, and it's incomplete. Bryce January on the coverage.
And this is what you're trying to do. So you're trying to sub more kids in. But as you do that, there's going to be a little bit of confusion because these kids are young and green. And so St. Charles recognized it, so they went with two verticals up the side. And so you had two St. Charles receivers out there against one corner.
Absolutely.
So there was a bust-in coverage, but they just couldn't catch the ball and bring it in. But this is the stuff you need to have on tape so these kids can get this cleaned up starting on Saturday.
You're right. As the Cardinals is in punt formation, we have a new returner back there for the Hawks. As he did not call for the fair catch, and he catches the ball. That is number 15, Will Heskett.
Well, Will says, look, I'm not going to fair catch this because I might get a seam, and I want to take it to the house, and I want to wave the mom, wave to the fans. I want a taste of this. I want to get to the pay dirt, get to the paint.
On his senior night.
On his senior night.
night.
And it looks like, was there a flag on the play? A late flag?
I don't think so. I don't know. Like we're ready to play. The Hawks, like you said, getting the guys in gradually as we get the clock running. The play clock is running as well. As the Hawks look like they're just gonna, take their time, get the right offense out there, get the right play calling, get one play in the head to the fourth quarter, up 39-0.
Yeah, it looks like you got number 73, Patrick Jodoveski is in there at 6'1", 280 as a sophomore. So they're starting to trade in those offensive linemen a little bit. Get them some action, get some guys coming around here on a sweep.
And penalty on the play.
And this is what happens when you start getting those wholesale changes in, guys that are coming in stiff off the sideline. Now you start seeing those gator arms coming in, nerves are coming in. You're coming towards the sideline right here, and this is just basic student body left. Everybody goes left. Let's get in front of a man and put hat on hat. But you also had hands on there.
Absolutely. As we see a lot of these younger running backs getting in the game now for the Hawks. That showed the versatility of the Hawks running backs. So it's a good thing for the Coach Birchfield. As we reach the end of the third quarter, St. Charles Cardinals 0 and your Bishop Hartley Hawks 39. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the start of the fourth quarter. You're watching the Bishop Hartley YouTube channel.
If you've ever dreamed of a career in the sports production industry, your dream could come true. The Ohio Media School is enrolling their next sports emphasis class soon. You'll learn about all the different aspects of what goes into the broadcast that you watch or listen to. Go from behind the scenes to the front of the camera. You'll also get hands-on opportunities to practice your skills through the Score on Air network. Call the Ohio Media School at 614-655-5250 or visit beonair.com/Columbus.
The Brick League is a proud supporter of high school athletics in Central Ohio and a proud partner of the Ohio Media School. For all your custom apparel needs, visit the Brick League at wearebrick.com and check out their amazing styles today.
All right, back in action. We got a little flag going on there, some extracurricular activities on the sideline. And that was the young man Wooten, the young Wooten as a sophomore. And I do believe Coach Randy Wooten, that's his son. So that's another generation of Hartley Hawk coming through.
Penalty on number 35, Solomon Lissoff, on for the Cardinals. And if you're the Cardinals right now, the score 39-0, and we weren't even able to get a play, and we're still 12 minutes on the clock. You can't get those type of penalties when you're trying to build on next week and weeks after that.
Well, I'm sure Solomon was on the sideline, and when there were some extracurricular activities, I think the conversation was more about, hey, when are we going to go to chapel, and what prayer and chapter and verse are we going to read in the Bible? I'm sure that's what the conversation was as they're wrestling around on the ground out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's been a beautiful night to play football. Once again, like we said, it's senior night. Also, on top of senior night, it's homecoming. So you know that the crowd is live and well. Like you say, you got alumni like yourself here. You know they're excited. The football team winning 39-0. You can't ask for anything better than that, right?
Yeah, and I'm telling you, they've done a great job with the band and the music program here. So the band has done a fabulous job keeping the crowd going. So kudos to the music program at Bishop Hartley High School, and kudos to the guys out there getting all these fabulous footage, different angles of the game.
Absolutely. Bryce January in the shotgun. Oh, never mind. That's not Bryce January. He hands it off to number 44, Joey Wooten. That's actually Alex Radicon, I think. Ramicon, I believe, that at the quarterback.
I'm really excited to see this young Wooten out there get some dips in. He's a good, solid kid. I want to see how he holds up on Friday Night Football and really get some good action and get some good reps in.
Well, we have a new quarterback at quarterback right now. He takes the ball to the right. He had the block out there. Stiffs arm, heads out of bounds to pick up a gain of a yard.
I think we got a kid that on the field that's not on the roster.
Yeah, you're right.
So whoever's kid that is, he's doing a great job.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Mom is out here screaming and yelling, and Pops' allergies are acting up with watery eyes.
And I apologize that we don't have, his name on the roster, as we don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to say the wrong name.
No, Mom and Pops know who he is.
Yeah.
They know who he is, especially when he scores. They don't know who he is.
As he's getting an opportunity to play, Friday night football, in a rivalry game.
And this is old school wishbone, really stacking the line.
As he hands the ball off for a gain of 2 to number 43, Rory Ralston.
And it's great to see these young sophomores get in here. Rory's going to be a great contributor as he continues to grow into his frame and gets his speed up. And that's the one thing that they do is they develop players here. So kids come in differently from when they're sophomores to when they're seniors.
Right. And he's only a sophomore. That's I'm sure Coach Burfield is very excited about that as he hands off to number 44, Joey Wooten. Joey Wooten bounces to the left side and turnover on downs as the Cardinals get a stop on defense.
And I know that was a difficult call because it's it's fourth down, so you don't want to embarrass the Cardinal. You want to be a good sport and give them a little bread and butter and make them stop it. That way they can get the turnover. But what I would like to see on that play, me personally, just so you can practice this and get, because you still have to run through your paces. Kick the field goal. See how far you can stretch your field goal kicker.
Right.
So you can get a sense when you really need it down the road, what kind of leg does this kid have and what kind of confidence does he have. So I really wanted to see the kicking game come into play on there. And I know it's a little bit of a stretch, maybe a little bit outside of the comfort zone for that kid. But, in a situation like this where you're up this big, take the chance just to kind of see where you are as far as range. And that puts another bug into the head of the folks that you're going to play against down the road.
I agree. We have a quarterback change for the Cardinals. Will Lawler is in, and he hands it off to number 44, Charlie Griffith. Charlie Griffith breaks a couple tackles and for a gain of 3 yards.
And Will comes from a long line of Lawlers. As we all know each other on both sides of the ball, we either played against some Lawlers, wrestled against them, competed against them 20, 30 years ago. But those generations continue. So I'm sure he's a fine athlete, good kid, coming out to compete today.
Absolutely. As he getting a chance to play tonight. I know didn't want in these circumstances, but as he hands it off again to number 44, who breaks the tackle, and he breaks another tackle, and he cannot break the tackle right there. As he made a great effort right there.
And look who's in the game, my man 35, Gavin. All right, he just got subbed in, so we'll see what happens. And this is where you want to see some of these young kids come out here and get their hawk feathers, is what we call it. So let them get their hawk feathers and see if they have what it takes to be under the bright lights, the big stage.
Absolutely. And
in front of alumni, their parents, their friends, all the good stuff.
And also give Coach Burfield and the coaching staff a chance to see what can you do. Like, if I need to put you in, if I have to put you in, if I need you to put you in, if something happened, can you handle the moment? And let's see how they do it right here.
And that's the key. Can you handle the moment?
As he hands it off again to number 44, Charlie Griffith breaks a couple tackles, but he brought down by number 53, Ian Jackson for the Hawks.
And Ian's a good-looking kid as well, 6 foot, 200 pounds. Got some good lateral speed there and held on for that last tackle to make sure that we get down to this fourth down and put him into a punting situation.
Absolutely. 7-13, the Cardinals, 7-13 left in a quarter. The Cardinals in punt formation. We have number 15, Will Haskett, back to return for the Hawks.
Let's see if Will's going to do the thing, man. Come on, Will. Let's see what you got. Do the thing, Will. There he goes. Oh, look at Will just picking his way through it, being patient, and saying, I'm not going down.
Heskett on the return there to the 30-yard line. As we look here, as the race to the playoffs in Division III Region 2, we have Granville number 1, 6-0, Wester Brown 5-2, Jackson at 5-2, and then your Bishop Hartley Hawks at 5-2. Tri-Valley 6-1, London 5-2, Bella Fountain 5-2, and Sheridan at 6-1. The race to the playoffs. Let's talk a little bit about that, Randall.
Well, you're in the middle of the pack, which is where you want to be this time of the year. Had some tough losses there at the beginning, some big dogs, big programs, kind of test your mettle a little bit. But now it's getting down to that stage where you got to start gearing up, and you can see the pieces are starting to come together for Hartley. They're starting to get all of the right pieces, trying to figure out who goes where, what that chemistry is all about.
For some of our viewers who don't really understand, where does those computer rankings come from? Is it the strength of schedule? Is it just the team name? Like, where do those come from, the power rankings, the scores, points?
Yeah, so that was a good little run there by Gavin Feeney. So the Feeneys are a great group of folks down here. So Gavin, number 33, did a good run there. But for the strength of schedule is what it comes down to. So you always want to play up, and that's where you get more computer points. So you play those bigger teams, bigger divisions, and you get more computer points. So as a Bishop Hartley, you have to travel the state.
Right.
You have to stretch the state. You have to find who wants to play you across the state. Right. And those teams, once you beat them, they have to start winning.
Absolutely.
So that's the key. You can't beat a team and then have them lose all their games, so now you don't get those secondary points. Right. So you got to continue to – it's just like college football. If you beat the man, they got to continue to beat other people, right. And it kind of props you up as an elite team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Joey Wooten on a carry right there for a loss of a yard. 2nd down and 10. The ball's on the 30-yard line.
And I like this combination of Wooten and Feeney back there. Two good young running backs. Looks like they have a lot of wiggle in their hips where they can really get to the corner and put a move on.
Your guy, Gavin Feeney, on the carry to pick up a gain of 5 yards.
And that's rare to see in a young player like this. So Gavin had a nice little jump cut there. So a jump cut is very difficult. You have to control your body, and you also have to look downfield, 2 or 3 people downfield. So the ability to do that jump cut, that's a unique move.
Absolutely, as Gavin is getting his opportunity to do that right now, as the Hawks picks up another 1st down.
And that was just a bulldoze. Let's cut it up in the middle. Let's get Rory in there, Ralston. Let's get him in there and get him going. And Rory's mom was my math teacher years ago. So you can see the lineage of good athletes, and his mom is an elite athlete as well. So it's going to be fun to watch these kids grow, mature, get better over time.
This is the future right here, right?
Absolutely.
This is the future. These guys are only sophomores. Getting great experience tonight as he hands it off to number 44, Wooten. Wooten runs up to the left side to pick up a gain of 5 yards to put the ball at the 45-yard line.
So that was a good run by Joey. He made his cut and was decisive. And he ran the guy over, but I think it was more of I want the contact rather than to avoid the contact. If he would have avoided the contact, he'd be in the end zone right now, still going. But he just wants that moment to say, I plowed this guy, so he can have his 364 days of bragging.
Absolutely. As we have a penalty on the play, offsides on Cardinals. As the Cardinals are helping the Hawks out a little bit as they try to find a way into the end zone the last 2 minutes and 43 seconds of this game.
Well, and some of the people at home are probably wondering, it was a dead ball foul. Why is the clock still running?
Right.
So in Ohio, you got that rule where it's almost like a mercy rule. Depending on the score, what a cut.
As he fakes the ball off to Wooten, and he rushed to the left side with a couple greats, like you said, that great cut right there, and
that
he
was
runs out
Willie.
to the left.
That was Will Heskett again. Will Heskett. But so that we have a running clock. It's almost like a mercy rule. So that way things don't get too out of hand and stop the clock and the game starts to get sloppy. So we'll just keep the clock running.
Absolutely. I believe it's a great rule that Ohio established, and I feel like other cities and other states should establish that rule too, because the first thing about it is player safety.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to get a player hurt, especially when they score 39-0. As number 20.
Is that Xavier?
Number 20, yep. Xavier Martin Fuller get his first carry. Refs timeout.
And that's just your regular pitch, trying to get leverage to the outside and try to bite that corner. And that's good coaching on both sides. So the DB went up high, tried to bring him down, and the running back was trying to stiff arm and fight off. So that was good football all the way around.
So the young Hawks they're smelling six. They're trying to score. It seemed like they wanted to run the clock out, but it like they're trying to score this touchdown right here.
Well, it's a whole different crew that comes in, so they're hungry. So they're like, hey, I want to get in the paint. And so you got these young sophomores, they're fighting for each other, which is what you want to see.
Absolutely. And
they're fighting for each other.
You have our young guys versus their young guys, and bragging rights, like you said. He hands the ball off. He goes straight up the middle, carrying a pile there.
And this is one of those where Birch is like, let's just run it straight ahead and pick up as much as we can, let the clock continue to run, get in the third down. And I think this is probably two-down territory. I can't see him kicking a field goal.
Like Ashton Cook got the carry on that one as the Hawks lined up in our formation. He pitches the ball to number 20. What was that, 20? Xavier Martin Fuller.
And that's pretty good patience by a young running back.
Yeah, definitely.
He didn't panic. He just kind of read his blocks and took his time and got to that corner.
As Coach Birchfield is singling his players off, as we see the student section there on the screen right now. Coach Birchfield brought his players off the field, and they're going to let the clock run out. As we're watching the student section right now, they're very excited. So right now, 20 seconds left on the field, but as you can see, both teams are lined up at the 50-yard line. So, no damage, no foul right now. The game not over, but let's talk about this Bishop Hartley team. What did you like about today, and what are you looking for next week?
What I really liked was the special teams stretch themselves outside of where they normally are. So going for two, doing multiple sets, looking at it, and not being successful. But that's okay, because now you know how to correct that. You'd rather be not successful in a 39-zip game than get down to you need a score, you need a 2-point conversion, and it is just a crazy fire drill out there where you can't get lined up straight. So now they'll clean that up heading into next week, heading into the rest of their season. But they also have that arsenal now in the back pocket. And the other thing that I really loved was the rotation of running backs from different sets, not all from the same set. So now as a defense coordinator, you don't know where to go.
As we look here at the pit, as the players are celebrating the win with the student section. So right now, that right there, after watching that assignment from the players in the student section, we get opportunity now to talk about our solid brick player of the game, number 31, 6'2", sophomore Sherrod Bowens. Randall, talk a little bit about Sherrod Bowens and why he's the solid brick player of the game.
Oh, so you got a kid that's a defensive end that's going all out. I mean, he is just doing some stuff that's amazing. That kind of speed as a defensive end, holding it down on defense on that edge, but then getting out in the running back and punishing runners. I mean, he broke about 6, 7, 8 tackles in one play, and then going 70 yards with elite speed as well. You don't see that very often.
Right.
The kid that's a running back and a defensive end doing that well.
So he basically, like, he was a perfect player to receive the solid brick player of the game. As he showed us, like you said, on both sides of the ball, that not only can I bring the pain, but I can give it as well.
Absolutely, and I think a couple times when they tried to tackle him, it was like they were running into a brick wall, just bouncing off. And at this level, I've never seen it. It almost looks like an Earl Campbell kind of kid out there, and a Beanie Wells kind of running back.
Absolutely, as college coaches will have a field day recruiting this guy. As they can see, he's versatile.
Yeah, and they have soft hands. That's what I like.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a guy that's violent with his hands, but he has soft hands, and he holds on to that ball, and he really caresses that ball, and he really takes care of it. So that's a good sign of a running back.
Absolutely. So the Hawks traveled down to Akron, Ohio, to play St. Vincent St. Mary, the Fighting Irish. Let's talk a little bit about what the Hawks need to do to come back home here to Columbus with that victory.
Well, the key to the battle is going to be the matchups. How do we match up with their speed, with their talent? Does our speed and talent match up with them? And then creating those mismatches. So now you have this three-headed monster with these running backs coming to town that are starting to feel their way through who they are. But then the key to that whole three-headed monster is when you throw Dylan Newsome in there at the fullback. Because last 2 weeks ago he ran that fullback trap and popped it for 60 yards. So you're dealing with that dynamic of, okay, I got 4 people that could potentially touch the ball as running backs, but then I have 3 elite speed athletes on the edge that anytime they touch the ball, they can take it to the house. So how do you defend that? And you got a quarterback coming into his own now that has great touch. You saw the quarterback rolling left, throwing left across his body with great touch, the only way a wide receiver can catch it.
And that right there brings us to what we want to talk about next. Peyton Underwood was our player to watch today. Peyton Underwood played a complete game. You didn't throw any turnover. He didn't throw any bad throws. He got the ball to his playmakers. What do you think about Peyton Underwood and his performance tonight?
So Peyton did a good job managing the game, and that's what he wanted to do coming out tonight. So he did a great job managing the game. And I think where you're going to see a lot of things get cleaned up is the 2-point conversions. So trying to get people on that 2-point conversion. He missed his man in the back of the end zone on the roll to the right, try to squeeze it into the running back in the front. But sometimes those guys get tucked away in the back. Up top in the booth, we can see it. But they're down on the field, and he gets shadowed or tucked away in the back so you can't see him. But in film study, you'll start to go through some of that stuff and figure it out. But he managed the game brilliantly. Great touch on the ball when he had to. When he was swinging it out to the running backs, great touch on there. And then there's one time it almost got picked off because he didn't see the defensive end shoot through.
Last question. What would you say to these seniors who possibly, until the playoffs, might be their last time playing on this field until the playoffs? What would you say to those seniors as they depart, the last time playing on this field?
Just soak it in. Before you step off this field, turn around, take a look at it all, soak it in, enjoy the moment because it's rare. The air up here is rare. Elite athletes don't come across this field very often. And when you have the chance to put on a Hartley Hawk uniform and wear that for 4 years, that is probably one of the quintessential moments in the life of a young man moving forward. So just soak it in, understand the moment, understand where you are, understand how you fit into the moment and who you are in that moment, and enjoy it.
And there you have it, coming live from Jack Ryan Field, the Hartley Hawks 39 and St. Charles Cardinals 0. This was the Bishop Hartley YouTube channel. We want to thank you for tuning in. For Randall Sampson, I'm Deshaun Pate. Have a good night.
Go Hawks.